What's up, nerds? I'm Toasty, your nerdy travel guide who shows you where to touch grass. This is probably the most important video you'll watch if you're an anime fan going to Japan, so take notes if you need to. Thank you to EF Ultimate Break for sponsoring my trip plus this video. Number 1, plan ahead. If I could go back, I would have planned more IRL spots to visit in our free time on the tour, like the steps in Your Name or the Naruto theme park. There are still a few places you won't need reservations for, like the Pokemon Center or the Kyoto Museum of Manga, which my tour guide actually recommended to me. It was super convenient having most of the trip already planned out for me, so I do recommend going with a travel group your first time there. EF Ultimate Break has trips that you can take all around the world, and I actually have a code for $100 off using Toasty100. So if you want to go to Japan for the first time, you're afraid to go alone, and you want a little bit of guidance, check out EF Ultimate Break. I highly recommend them. I made a ton of friends, and I had the most amazing time in the world. Number 2, knowing a few phrases from anime is actually helpful. Sumimasen. That gets you pretty far. People will like you a lot more if you just make an attempt to speak some Japanese, but it is a common misconception that most Japanese people speak English. Even if they do speak it, that doesn't mean they're comfortable speaking it. Especially the workers at like trains and airports, they really didn't speak a lot of English, so I, with my Genki level 1 ability, had to translate for my friends in my free time. Thankfully, we had our local tour guide with EF, so the language barrier wasn't really that big of a deal. But if you're going alone, which I do not recommend for your first time, then at least study half of the Genki 1 textbook. It's not going to take a long time. You're going to a different country, so just make an effort. Number 3, consider booking a local tour guide for a portion of your trip. By going with EF Ultimate Break, we actually had a local tour guide, Tomo. Stan Tomo. He was able to call and make reservations for us, which was so helpful, and he also told us about all the cool underground spots that only locals would know. Number 4, and probably the most important tip on this list, be respectful. It's fine to be excited about going to the promised land. I get it. It does in fact look like anime IRL. But remember, Japan is being overwhelmed by foreigners right now, so it's a lot already, and you don't want to be that loud gaijin on the train. You should respect other cultures while traveling, period. Just because you watch anime doesn't mean you know everything about Japan. So do your research, watch some street interviews, and then come. Before I give you guys my last tip, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like and subscribe button, so that you can boost the video for other nerds. And yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Number 5, visit the countryside. A lot of people make the mistake of only going to like Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto. Those places are all cool, but my favorite part of the trip by far was visiting Hakone. Oh my goodness, the beautiful landscape. And I would have never thought to have this on my list if I didn't go with EF Ultimate Break, so that was really important. Not a deer park also, which is where you can meet all the cute little deer. That was really cool. It was straight out of a Ghibli movie, so if you're a Hayao Miyazaki fan, please go to the countryside. We even stayed with monks at one point in our trip. Like, we just did everything. It was 14 days, but I really feel like I got around Japan for the most part, like most of Japan. You can even book an onsen stay when you're in the countryside. That was also a great part of the trip. It felt like the class trip episode in anime when, you know, they all stay at the onsen and they eat all the food and they get in the rows. You know what I'm talking about. Book with a travel group if you don't know where you're going, because it's just gonna be super helpful and you're gonna see way more of the country than you would have otherwise. That's it for my nerdy travel tips today, but if you have any questions about my trip, leave them below in the comments. I'm going to be posting more travel videos on my travel account, Toasty GPS, so make sure you're following me over there. Go touch grass, and I will see you later.